everyone, this is Gretchen from Always a Lesson. I'm sitting in my car, as you can see, getting ready to go into another observation of a new teacher. And I started thinking about the observation I just finished and how chatty the class was. And we were talking afterwards about what to do when you have a noisy class or just a chatty class. So I think for me, what I end up doing if a class is extremely noisy in terms of talking, but then they just all happen to talk all the time, is just play soft music that helps them know they can't speak above that noise level. But then also wanting to make sure you have some sort of system set up for noise. So if you have a thermometer or older class, you do levels 1 through 5, whatever, and you just say, hey, voices are on a level 2, and that communicates your expectations of the noise level. But if you just have a chatty class, it's actually a blessing, because that means that these kiddos really want to communicate with one another. And that's so much better than a class that just sits and stares at you while you're talking. And that's almost embarrassing when you're sitting up there talking, delivering content, and everyone's just staring back at you. And it's like crickets, no one wants to talk. So I always tell teachers, please don't get scared if students are very chatty. This is actually a solvable problem, happens all the time, and kids are exactly what you want from them, is to be able to communicate. So you just have to teach them how to do it right. So I've made a list of things that I wanted to share with you. So excuse me as I kind of reference my list throughout the conversation today. But you want to plan throughout your lesson almost every 5 minutes something for students to do with one another. So a collaboration, whether they're turning and talking, and or bite-sized instruction. So you want to make sure that you are chatting and delivering that content in smaller pieces so they can digest the information and they're not overwhelmed by what you're actually saying, but they can take it in and understand exactly what is happening and chat with someone else, or even just jotting down their notes. But being able to have an opportunity where they can talk and you can just say, hey, for 5 minutes, I'm going to explain this topic, but then I'm going to allow you to chat with one another, so just hang on. And they're much more willing to just listen quietly for 5 minutes, knowing they're going to be able to talk to one another shortly. You can also create a seating chart so that students are able to mix and talk with different people. Generally, they're more chatty with friends, so you want to mix up the groups so that they can meet new people, but also so that you can share everyone's knowledge. Everyone has something to contribute. So when you're able to really pass it around and say, let me match up these few people with these few people, then everyone's able to share their experiences of what they've learned and able to really feel empowered by that opportunity. Let's see, what else? So you can reward your collaboration time. So if students are staying on task when they're talking with each other about the content, then you can say, today's collaboration time was 5 minutes together, but since you did such a great job, tomorrow's lesson, I'm going to give you 7 minutes of working with one another. And that's really building an incentive for a chatty class so that they know that they have this time, this precious time with their peers, and that they've earned it. And that definitely seems to work, especially with older children. One thing I know that was missing from my observation today was consequences. And the teacher kept saying, please listen, please quiet down. And they just wanted to talk with each other. So that should have been a clue to her. Tomorrow's lesson, I have got to build in more opportunities for them to collaborate or discuss, because that's what they really want to do with one another. But also she wasn't giving any incentive or any consequence for them to pay attention. So you really want to think through, well, is it that I'm going to actually ask you to step out of class? Well, that doesn't really help the talking. You want it to match what the issue was. So if they're collaborating but in the improper way, then you can say, well, next time when we have pairs that get to talk, then you have to sit silently and journal. So now they know, well, it's not that I get to miss out on talking, but it actually applies and reminds me that I need to do the appropriate thing instead of detention or coming after class, something that is a consequence but not directly related. And another thing I would say about this class that I saw today is there was no leadership in the students. So always pick a student that's really talkative and say, I want you to be my leader today. And I always think of Jamie Foxx, if you know him. He's hilarious, and his teacher would let him come up after class and tell jokes. And so he had to remain quiet the entire time. He couldn't say any jokes throughout class. And if he made it through, then he was able to come up at the end of class and share some of his jokes. And for him, that was really motivating, so that he was able to hold it together and then share, which is his passion, was telling jokes. And so I always tell teachers, hey, if you've got someone chatty, they're probably going to be one of the community's leaders. They love to communicate. So you want to empower them. You want to teach them how to grow this skill in the right way. So give them an avenue to do it. So if it's a leader, maybe they come up and give directions for an activity, or maybe you have them do a synopsis or something where they're able to get up and talk, because that's what they love to do, but it's in an appropriate way. And the last thing I'm going to share with you today is a technique from Doug Lemav's book, Teach Like a Champion, and it's called Strong Voice. And I think a lot of teachers struggle between being friends with classes, but then also having that authority in the classroom. So I think having this voice of empowerment of, I mean business, but I also am very caring, is really helpful. And so practicing that to have that teacher voice or that stern look, but then move right back into your personality, let students know that you mean business. All right, so I hope you found that helpful on what to do with a chatty class, and I'll see you soon.